Inflation is stuck at 3.3%, 65 straight months above target. Headline prices held at 3.7% in July, and together they leave households paying more for rent, groceries, and childcare while the central bank has almost no room to promise rate relief. What will the Fed chair actually signal about rates when he takes the stage in Wyoming this week? July did not move down. Core PCE held at 3.3% year over year, headline at 3.7%, both unchanged from June. Core strips out food and energy to show underlying pressure. Headline includes everything households buy. Both staying elevated means the problem is not just groceries or gas. That 65-month streak dates to early 2021, more than 5 years of continuous overshoot, the longest stretch above target in recent history. A dollar earned in 2021 buys significantly less in mid-2026, because that erosion compounds month after month. Longer-term inflation expectations remain anchored near 2%, but shorter-term expectations have ticked higher after energy prices jumped, and that split makes policy harder when families plan around the prices they see now. For homes and small businesses, the math is concrete. Rent, childcare, insurance, and groceries have compounded through 5 years of above-target inflation, even as incomes recently rose faster than prices in July and consumer spending decelerated modestly. The forum is the Jackson Hole Economic Policy Symposium, August 27 to 29 in Wyoming, hosted by the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. The official theme is financial innovation, implications for payments and policy, payment systems, stablecoins, and digital technology, but markets are treating it as a rate guidance test. Chair Kevin Warsh, in office since May 22, delivers the keynote at 10 a.m. on August 27th, and his remarks are the signal to watch before the September 16th decision. The Fed has held the federal funds rate at 3.5 to 3.75% since the beginning of 2026. At the July 28 to 29 meeting, the vote was 9-3 to hold, with Hammack, Kashkari, and Logan dissenting for a quarter-point increase. The board held interest on reserve balances at 3.65% and the primary credit rate at 3.75%. Warsh gave limited forward guidance after that meeting, and without a clear path to 2%, long-term Treasury yields have pushed toward their highest levels since 2007. With prime at 6.75%, mortgages, auto loans, and credit card balances stay expensive. Money is expanding again. M2 reached a record $23.2 trillion in the August 25 H.6 release, up 5.41% year over year, the fastest since June 2022, with a 3-month annualized pace of 8.36%. That rise was driven by banks, not the central bank balance sheet. Deposits up 6.52%, bank credit up 6.14%. While the Federal Reserve balance sheet remains in contraction, with reserve management purchases continuing to keep reserves ample. Competition for deposits has kept savings and certificate of deposit yields elevated even as borrowing stays costly. The July Monetary Policy Report describes inflation as elevated partly due to supply shocks. Energy disruptions tied to the U.S.-Israel-Iran conflict pushed petrol toward $4.10 per gallon in August. New tariff pressures followed a breakdown in U.S.-Canada negotiations. Global industrial metals prices rose considerably on supply constraints and data center demand, and that same technology build-out lifted corporate profits at the second fastest pace on record in the second quarter. One research estimate said the Iran conflict alone could add 0.6 points to fourth-quarter headline PCE through oil. The disagreement is sharp. Some officials argue war-driven price changes should not be met with higher rates and favor fighting inflation through currency stability. The 3 July dissenters argue policy is still not tight enough because rate cuts cannot fix supply conditions, and letting money growth above 5% persist, while the balance sheet story points the other way risks embedding higher inflation. If the Fed cannot signal easing at Jackson Hole, home, auto, and revolving payments stay at levels straining budgets since 2022, and small businesses borrowing at the prime benchmark see no relief. If it signals cuts too early, with headline at 3.7%, core at 3.3%, and money growth re-accelerating, purchasing power erodes longer, near-term expectations drift further from target, and even tighter policy is needed later. What remains unresolved is the guidance itself. No transcript of a detailed rate path was available before the symposium, and the official agenda lists no explicit interest rate outlook session. Whether July readings are revised, whether energy, tariff, and money pressures persist into fall, and whether September 16th brings a hold, a hike, or a first step toward easing will determine whether the longest post-pandemic overshoot finally bends toward 2% or extends into its 6th year. Like and follow for more stories that matter.